Hey, what's up, everyone? Thank you all for listening to this new episode on my podcast. I will start doing more video podcasts soon. I just haven't had a chance to actually start creating the whole idea behind it and how it's gonna work. I have some ideas, but I just haven't really built on it. So, anyways. And I've been running a little late because I just got back from my trip and I've been busy ever since I've gotten back. So I'm doing this episode while driving. But I'm good because my phone is sitting. I'm just recording. So we're chilling. I wanted to tell you guys about my experience in Colombia. I was out there for 9 days. I left on the 5th and came back on the 14th. And it was great. It was a lot of fun. It was a great experience. Colombia is such a beautiful country. They have beautiful sighting. They have very nice people. I love how when we arrived, a lot of people were just instantly like, "Mi amor, ¿qué te puedo hacer, mi amor?" Like the way they would say "mi amor" for everything. I was just like, "Oh, that's so sweet, so cute," you know. And they treat you well. Most of them, obviously, like every other country, they have those people that are a-holes here and there, but mostly everyone is very kind and nice. And I love Colombian food, so I enjoyed the food out there. There was a couple things that weren't that great, but it's like everywhere else, right? Not everything's gonna be perfect, but for the most part, their food was delicious. It was really good. So anyways, I was out there for 9 days. We went to 3 different towns in Colombia. We started with Santa Marta, which it's more of a tropical area, and it was beautiful, man. It was really, really nice. The beaches were very pretty. First day that we got there, we went to this restaurant that's in front of the water, and their food was just to die for. Their seafood was fresh and it tasted delicious. So that was just a good day to start with. And then after that, we had a couple tours, which were a lot of fun too. We went to a beach called, what is it? Agua Azul, I believe. Or Agua del Cielo. I can't remember. I think it's Agua Blanca. Playa Blanca. Playa Blanca. Pretty sure. That beach was beautiful. The water was perfect. There was no crazy waves, so you could swim, and it was perfection. One of my favorite beaches, I would say, till this day. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I made friends with this guy from Bogota, which he was very kind. We were talking to him, and he was just telling me a lot about Colombia. And then when I was in the water, I became friends. Well, I was social, not became friends, but I was socializing with this family that are from, I think they said Cali. I think Cali. But a different part of Colombia. They were basically telling me about how Colombia works. Like there's a bunch of different towns, and majority of those towns have different traditions, and they have different accents, and their food varies as well. So that was cool. They gave me like a whole rundown on how Colombia is and how it works. So that was pretty cool. And they were very nice. And the lady, the mom, she told me, she asked me, she's like, "Hey, so what are you? Are you where are you from?" And I said, "Oh, I'm Mexican." And she's like, "Oh, Mexico. Ah, yeah, me encanta Edwin Luna." I think she said Edwin Luna. Anyways, the singer from Grupo Firme. And I was like, "Oh yeah, he's really cool, right? He's a good singer." She's like, "Yeah, but not only that, he's really hot." And I was like, "Yeah, he's a great looking dude." Anyways, we were talking and stuff, and she was funny, very cool lady. And we also did zip lining, which was really cool too. Just doing zip lining over the beach. It was a cool experience. But that was Santa Marta. We did a couple other things. Can't remember everything right now, but it was a lot of fun. It was a great time. The weather is always, for the most part, is usually humid in those coastal areas. So that's one thing that I never really care for, but it's part of the experience. So it was cool. After Santa Marta, we moved to Medellin. We flew to Medellin, and dang, bro, like I want to go back to Medellin eventually. Hopefully sooner than later. I love Medellin. Such a nice city, a big city. They have a bunch of things to do in there, and they have this. We were staying by this area where they had like a downtown called Calle 70 or some. I can't remember if it was Calle or a different word for it. 70. The thing it was that it was 70, right? And there was a bunch of restaurants, stores, clothing people, like vendors on the street, food vendors as well. So that was just really cool. I thought it was really nice, and they're basically there all day, and they're there till late at night as well. And then also we went to this I don't know what it's called, but it's basically like the favelas in Brazil, where they have like the old houses one on top of another and so on. And then they have big statues of different things. One is a monkey or a gorilla. The other one's like a hand of I can't remember what. But it was just very colorful and really nice. It was just really nice. And the weather in Medellin is just to die for. I love the weather in Medellin. But the thing about Medellin and my experience in Medellin was that we experienced the earthquake there. So, Colombia had an earthquake not too long ago, a week or 2 weeks ago. We were in Medellin when the earthquake happened. And I know it wasn't in Medellin where it happened in a different part of Colombia, but we felt it in Medellin, which, if I'm not mistaken, it was like a 6 point something in Medellin compared to the original one, which was 7 point something else. But it was kind of crazy because all of a sudden we started seeing people moving around, running around like crazy, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on, right? And they kept pointing at the building where we were at, and I honestly thought they were pointing at like a bird or a monkey, because we had just been at the jungle the day before, so I don't know why in my head I thought, oh, there's probably a monkey and they're just pointing at it. But then now that I think about it, I'm like, bro, you're in the city there's no monkeys there. So when we stood up to check out what was going on, we started feeling the floor movement. We started feeling the movement on the floor, and then I looked up at the building, and then you can see the building shaking back and forth, and then I would see the train tracks as well, because they're on a second story, and you could see that move as well. So it was scary now that I think about it. At first I didn't really give it much thought, but it was pretty scary afterwards. After the fact, after I saw how many people die and all the buildings that collapsed, it's scary to think of that you can lose your life within seconds. That would have been insane if I was in Colombia and I could have died out there. But thankfully I'm still alive. I felt so sad and bad for the people that actually died and lost a lot of things during this earthquake. But yeah, that was my experience in Medellin. And anyways, after Medellin we went to Cartagena, and Cartagena was a great experience as well. A lot of fun. Vendors out there are very pushy though. They're really pushy. They don't take no for an answer, and I feel bad saying no to people, but I mean, I'm usually nice when I say no, and they're still pushy about it, and it kind of takes the fun out of being at the beach when people are just right there, like one after the other, trying to sell you stuff. Which I get it, that's how they make their money, but it's not a great experience when you're at the beach. Other than that, Cartagena was kind of very humid, but then they have this downtown also that's called what's it called? El Centro Histórico. They have the Centro Histórico, and it's really nice. It's beautiful. I mean, they have Getsemani, also another area around there. Very colorful. People are walking everywhere. They have a bunch of vendors, and it's just a lot of fun. So overall, my trip was great. I had a great time. I'm happy to be back home. Every time I take a long trip, when I get back home, I'm grateful because, you pretty much have your freedom when you're back at home. You have your own car. You can go anywhere and do the things that you want. It feels great to be back home, but the vacations are much needed, very much needed. So I'm grateful. I love Colombia. I definitely want to go back if I ever get the chance to. I definitely want to go back. So I feel blessed, man. Anyways, wanted to share a little something about my trip. Again, I'm gonna be working on better podcasting. I gotta sit down and make up the plan and make it happen. Thank you all again. I hope you all have a great Wednesday. Adios.